Welcome to Top 100 Most Famous Poems of English Literature. Part 2. Positions from 90 to 81. Number 90.
When We Two Parted, by George Gordon, Lord Byron. When we two parted in silence and tears, half broken-hearted to sever for years, pale grew thy cheek and cold, colder thy kiss, truly that hour foretold sorrow to this. The dew of the morning sunk chill on my brow, it felt like the warning of what I feel now. Thy vows are all broken, and light is thy fame, I hear thy name spoken, and share in its shame. They name thee before me, a knell to mine ear, a shudder comes o'er me, why wert thou so dear? They know not I knew thee, who knew thee too well, long shall I rue thee, too deeply to tell. In secret we met, in silence I grieve, that thy heart could forget, thy spirit deceive. If I should meet thee after long years, how should I greet thee? With silence and tears.
Number 89.
Fog, by Carl Sandburg. The fog comes on little cat feet. It sits looking over harbor and city on silent haunches and then moves on.
Number 88.
Sea Fever, by John Masefield. I must go down to the seas again, to the lonely sea and the sky, and all I ask is a tall ship and a star to steer her by, and the wheels kick and the wind song and the white sails shaking, and a gray mist on the sea's face, and a gray dawn breaking. I must go down to the seas again, for the call of the running tide is a wild call and a clear call that may not be denied, and all I ask is a windy day with the white clouds flying, and the flung spray and the blown spume, and the seagulls crying. I must go down to the seas again, to the vagrant gypsy life, to the gull's way and the whale's way where the wind's like a whetted knife, and all I ask is a merry yarn from a laughing fellow rover, and quiet sleep and a sweet dream when the long trick's over.
Number 87.
Remember, by Christina Georgina Rossetti. Remember me when I am gone away, gone far away into the silent land, when you can no more hold me by the hand, nor I have turned to go yet turning stay. Remember me when no more day by day you tell me of our future that you planned. Only remember me, you understand it will be late to counsel then or pray. Yet if you should forget me for a while and afterwards remember, do not grieve. For if the darkness and corruption leave a vestige of the thoughts that once I had, better by far you should forget and smile than that you should remember and be sad.
Number 86.
Concord Hymn, by Ralph Waldo Emerson. By the rude bridge that arched the flood, their flag to April's breeze unfurled, here once the embattled farmers stood and fired the shot heard round the world. The foe long since in silence slept, alike the conqueror silent sleeps, and time the ruined bridge has swept down the dark stream which seaward creeps. On this green bank, by this soft stream we set today a votive stone, that memory may their deed redeem when, like our sires, our sons are gone. Spirit that made those heroes dare to die and leave their children free, bid time and nature gently spare the shaft we raise to them and thee. If you liked our selection, and want to develop your intellectual skills, or just to relax, please subscribe to our channel, youtube.com, @AI Readers, and follow us to listen quality poems written by the most famous poets of English literature and read by the most advanced artificial intelligence software. Thank you.
Number 85.
The Chambered Nautilus, by Oliver Wendell Holmes. This is the ship of pearl, which, poets feign, sails the unshadowed main, the venturous bark that flings on the sweet summer wind its purpled wings in gulfs enchanted, where the siren sings, and coral reefs lie bare, where the cold sea maids rise to sun their streaming hair. Its webs of living gauze no more unfurl, wrecked is the ship of pearl. And every chambered cell, where its dim dreaming life was wont to dwell, as the frail tenant shaped his growing shell, before thee lies revealed, its iris ceiling rent, its sunless crypt unsealed. Year after year beheld the silent toil that spread his lustrous coil, still, as the spiral grew, he left the past year's dwelling for the new, stole with soft step its shining archway through, built up its idle door, stretched in his last found home, and knew the old no more. Thanks for the heavenly message brought by thee, child of the wandering sea, cast from her lap, forlorn. From thy dead lips a clearer note is born than ever Triton blew from wreathed horn. While on mine ear it rings, through the deep caves of thought I hear a voice that sings, build thee more stately mansions, O my soul, as the swift seasons roll. Leave thy low vaulted past. Let each new temple, nobler than the last, shut thee from heaven with a dome more vast, till thou at length art free, leaving thine outgrown shell by life's unresting sea.
Number 84.
I'm Nobody. Who Are You? By Emily Dickinson. I'm nobody. Who are you? Are you nobody too? Then there's a pair of us. Don't tell. They'd banish us, you know. How dreary to be somebody. How public, like a frog to tell your name the livelong day to an admiring bog.
Number 83.
Alone. By Edgar Allan Poe. From childhood's hour I have not been as others were, I have not seen as others saw, I could not bring my passions from a common spring, from the same source I have not taken my sorrow, I could not awaken my heart to joy the same tone, and all I loved alone then, my childhood, in the dawn of a most stormy life, was drawn from every depth of good and ill the mystery which binds me still, from the torrent, or the fountain, from the red cliff of the mountain, from the sun that round me rolled in its autumn tint of gold, from the lightning in the sky as it passed me flying by, from the thunder and the storm, and the cloud that took the form, when the rest of heaven was blue, of a demon in my view.
Number 82.
Pioneers. Oh pioneers. By Walt Whitman. Come my tan-faced children, follow well in order. Get your weapons ready. Have you your pistols? Have you your sharp-edged axes? Pioneers. Oh pioneers. For we cannot tarry here, we must march my darlings. We must bear the brunt of danger, we, the youthful sinewy races. All the rest on us depend, pioneers. Oh pioneers. Oh you youths, Western youths, so impatient, full of action, full of manly pride and friendship, plain I see you, Western youths, see you tramping with the foremost, pioneers. Oh pioneers. Have the elder races halted? Do they droop and end their lesson, wearied, over there beyond the seas? We take up the task eternal, and the burden, and the lesson, pioneers. Oh pioneers. All the past we leave behind, we debouch upon a newer, mightier world, varied world, fresh and strong the world we seize, world of labor in the march, pioneers. Oh pioneers. We detachments steady throwing down the edges, through the passes, up the mountains steep, conquering, holding, daring, venturing as we go. The unknown ways, pioneers. Oh pioneers. We primeval forests felling, we the rivers stemming, vexing we, and piercing deep the mines within. We the surface broad surveying, we the virgin soil upheaving, pioneers. Oh pioneers. Colorado men are we, from the peaks gigantic, from the great Sierras and the high plateaus, from the mine and from the gully, from the hunting trail we come, pioneers. Oh pioneers. From Nebraska, from Arkansas, central inland race are we, from Missouri, with the continental blood interveined, all the hands of comrades clasping, all the southern, all the northern pioneers. Oh pioneers. Oh resistless, restless race. Oh beloved race in all. Oh my breast aches with tender love for all. Oh I mourn and yet exult, I am wrapped with love for all, pioneers. Oh pioneers. Raise the mighty mother mistress, waving high the delicate mistress, over all the starry mistress, bend your heads all, raise the fanged and warlike mistress, stern, impassive, weapon mistress, pioneers. Oh pioneers. See, my children, resolute children, by those swarms upon our rear, we must never yield or falter, ages back in ghostly millions, frowning there behind us urging, pioneers. Oh pioneers. On and on, the compact ranks, with accessions ever waiting, with the places of the dead quickly filled, through the battle, through defeat, moving yet and never stopping, pioneers. Oh pioneers. Oh to die advancing on. Are there some of us to droop and die? Has the hour come? Then upon the march we fittest die soon and sure the gap is filled, pioneers. Oh pioneers, all the pulses of the world, falling in. They beat for us, with the western movement beat, holding single or together. Steady moving, to the front, all for us, pioneers. Oh pioneers. Life's involved in varied pageants, all the forms and shows, all the workmen at their work, all the seamen and the landsmen, all the masters with their slaves, pioneers. Oh pioneers. All the hapless silent lovers, all the prisoners in the prisons, all the righteous and the wicked, all the joyous, all the sorrowing, all the living, all the dying, pioneers. Oh pioneers. I too with my soul and body, we, a curious trio, picking, wandering on our way, through these shores amid the shadows, with the apparitions pressing, pioneers. Oh pioneers. Lo, the darting bowling orb. Lo, the brother orbs around. All the clustering suns and planets, all the dazzling days, all the mystic nights with dreams, pioneers. Oh pioneers. These are of us, they are with us, all for primal needed work, while the followers there in embryo wait behind, we today's procession heading, we the route for travel clearing, pioneers. Oh pioneers. Oh you daughters of the West. Oh you young and elder daughters. O you mothers and you wives! Never must you be divided, in our ranks you move united, pioneers. O pioneers! Minstrels latent on the prairies, shrouded bards of other lands. You may sleep. You have done your work. Soon I hear you coming warbling. Soon you rise and tramp amid us, pioneers. O pioneers! Not for delectation sweet, not the cushion and the slipper, not the peaceful and the studious, not the riches safe and palling, not for us the tame enjoyment, pioneers. O pioneers! Do the feasters gluttonous feast? Do the corpulent sleepers sleep? Have they locked and bolted doors? Still be hours that died hard, and the blanket on the ground, pioneers. O pioneers!
As the night descended,
Was the road of late so toilsome? Did we stop discouraged, nodding on our way? Yet a passing hour I yield you, in your tracks to pause oblivious, pioneers. O pioneers! Till with sound of trumpet, far, far off the daybreak call, hark! How loud and clear I hear it wind, swift. To the head of the army, swift. Spring to your places, pioneers. O pioneers!
Number 81.
A Bird Came Down the Walk. By Emily Dickinson. A bird came down the walk. He did not know I saw. He bit an angleworm in halves and ate the fellow, raw. And then he drank a dew from a convenient grass, and then hopped sidewise to the wall to let a beetle pass. He glanced with rapid eyes that hurried all abroad. It looked like frightened beads, I thought. He stirred his velvet head.
Like one in danger cautious, I offered him a crumb, and he unrolled his feathers, and rode him softer home. Then oars divide the ocean, 2 silver for a seam, or butterflies, off banks of noon, leap, flashless, as they swim. This was part 2, with the positions from 90 to 81, of our top 100 best poems of English literature.
If you liked our selection, and want to develop your intellectual skills, or just to relax, please subscribe to our channel, youtube.com/AI-readers, and follow us to listen quality poems written by the most famous poets of English literature and read by the most advanced artificial intelligence software. Thank you.